everyone. I'm working on my Spock Box. So as we discussed before, the wind opened it, probably because I didn't shut it well enough, and busted the heck out of it. All got cracked here, and then it got broken up here. So what I'm going to do first is I've taken some brackets, and well, I'm terrible at hanging on this. They were brackets like this, so I took them and I bent them so they would kind of conform to this crack here. I've super glued it back together so it's holding it where it should be, but obviously there's no strength in that. So I'm going to go ahead and fix this. I'm going to put 3 of these up here. I'm going to take one of these. So I'm going to put a piece there and a straight one there. And then I have one more of those. I'll put that there. That's going to be pretty strong, I hope. I mean, I don't use the box a whole bunch, just storage, and I'm hoping it'll last. They're just too expensive to buy a new one. And then I will come up here. The box has been in the Arizona desert for quite a while, so I'm going to do my best to get it fixed up so it's usable for another year. Like I said, they're just fairly expensive of a box, and we do need the storage. So I will show you after it's all done. So you can see what I've done here. I've attached all the brackets I made, and I also put some sealer glue on it. And it's this stuff right here. It's an epoxy glue, so it should help hold it all together. And these are the kind of screws I used right here. They're just for metal buildings is what we use them for. But I have a million of them through all the years. So that's kind of what we did there up front. This was just a small crack, so I just used the sealer. And up here, I put another little bracket. And I'll paint it all up and make it look beautiful. Yeah, right. So I'll show you again after that's all done. It needs to dry, and I'll get her cleaned up. All right. Got her all painted up and reinstalled on the roof. Looks like brand new. And I have all these people over here cheering me on. No, they helped me get it back up here. Even though it's light, it is awkward. So, Spock Box is back on and good for another year.
Beat me up, Scotty.
Oh, and the other day, I installed my solar panel. Carolyn gave it to me at the RTR. Thank you, Carolyn. And so now I don't have to carry it around inside. And I just have a little bit of wiring to do and a little bit of sealing to do, and we're good to go. Morning, everybody. Today, Doc and I, which is my neighbor over here and a good friend, he's going to help me put new brakes on the front of the Dodge. So we'll see how it goes. We'll take you along with us. And no bad comments. Look at that. Doc's already got the tire off, and you can see in there the shoes themselves are just thin, or the brake pads are thin. Not past drivable or anything like that, but we're just going to replace those. Everything else looks awesome. Actually only took Doc 3 minutes to pull all that apart. And I'll show you what my old shoes look like. I guess I was running on empty, as you would call it. It was very much time. Never squealed though. But boy, they look like they've had some miles. Now we'll keep moving on. So what Doc's doing here is he's taking the glaze off the rotor so the new brake pads will break in nicely. So what Doc's doing now is we're compressing the caliper so that we can put the new brake shoes on, and everything looked good. I even got in there and got a little new grease on my U-joint.
Why don't I get my caliper tool?
Get the caliper tool.
I have a tool for this.
Nah, he's my hero today. There you go, and it's just as fast as they came off. Mr. Doc got them right back on. Awesome. Side number 1 already on and all installed, and got grease up in there. Now we're going to work on side number 2. And when I say we, I really mean Doc, because I haven't been any help here, but that's what neighbors are for. Okay, so that is the
Caliper compressor.
caliper compressor tool, and that's for pushing it all the way back.
Yep.
And then we'll clean her up and do this whole side up again. And these brakes didn't look any better,
Nope.
but everything else looks good.
No, these brakes are shot.
Brake recording.
Compress.
And that's how you do that. Super deal. Super neighbor.
Your next brake job will require rotors.
Yeah.
Or get them resurfaced, but the money you're going to spend having these pressed off and pressed on, you better off buy new ones.
Right.
Deglazing.
Deglazing. Driver's side, all done. Like that. Thank you, Doc.
You betcha.
Hi guys.
Hola.
So we are taking a moment out of our day just so we can kind of catch you guys up on a few things, because we told you guys that we would let you know what was going on with the truck. We told you guys that we'd catch you up also on why we don't live in our house. So I'm gonna let Scotty tell you what's going on with the truck.
What truck? The truck
Yeah.
they have? No. So you can see in the video prior to this part that I was working on the front of the truck. Got that all done. The brakes are all done and great. The Spock Box is back on the roof and done, and the solar's done. So after I was done with the brakes, I took the truck into the shop. It went back to a body shop, and they went over what work was done before. Problem being is that they weren't sure if the corner cab of the truck was installed properly. So they got an independent reviewer, I'll call him, to come out and go through everything done to the truck. A week later they called and said it was done up to specs, which is a good thing, because otherwise they were going to tear that truck all back apart. What they're doing now is they're pulling the bed back off, and they're going to fix the seam sealer. Whenever they put the seam sealer on, it wasn't done properly, so they're going to fix that, change out a few other things that was done to the truck, and they're probably going to have it another week and a half. They've had it a week and a half now, so it's going to be 3 weeks to get my total for the truck to be done. So hopefully it gets done correctly this time, and then we can get her loaded back up and back on the road. And as for the house, I'm in the house right now.
Can you tell them also why they did not total our truck? Because quite a few people have said that the truck should have been totaled.
The value of the truck was way more than 50% of what the cost was. It cost them $12,000 for the body work, $1,700 for the clutch system, so let's say $14,000. The truck's value, I think, is right around $30,000. I paid a lot more than that for the truck, so that was their decision. What they did tell me, though, the other day was if they had to pull it back apart because inadequate welding, they probably would have just totaled the truck.
And then we would be out because our truck is paid for.
Yeah.
And then we'd have to have a brand new truck. We'd have to, try to figure that out. And
I'm happy with our truck.
Yeah. Scotty keeps the truck very well maintained, and we know all its little issues, which it doesn't have any, except for
a couple dents from that hail on the hood.
yeah.
I tried my best, but
So
that hail took her out a
yeah,
little
that's
bit.
why they didn't total it out. And then the house. So the reason we don't live in our house, people think that there's some kind of weird thing going on, that, you know, our son won't let us in our house and this and that. That's not true. When we moved out of the house originally, we told our son he could just have the master bedroom. We were good with that. We weren't planning on moving back in anyways, and so he now lives in the master bedroom.
Right.
We had a renter in here for a very short time. That did not work out. Our son had done a background check on her, and yeah.
Surprise!
There was a lot more to this woman that we had living in our house than we ever could have imagined. And so we just decided that we are just going to have our son living in the house, and taking care of the property and the house, and that's it.
Yeah.
We're not going to have renters in here, which is going to kind of put a damper on how much we travel this year. We are going to South Carolina with Aja, but after that we're not really sure whereabouts we'll go, because we will have to budget a lot more now than we did before, and we're okay with that. We would much rather budget tighter than have a renter in here.
I agree, yeah.
It's just kind of hard to have a renter, and we don't want to sell our house. It's nice to come back and have a place to come and feel comfortable at. But we also don't have beds in the other rooms. They are totally emptied out, and so for us to come back in the house, my son said he would go back in his room and sleep on the floor. We're not going to do that. He works full time. He is a very hard worker, and we're not going to have that. We are very comfortable in our house.
It's our house outside. Absolutely.
So we just wanted to catch you guys up on a few things. You saw, like Scotty said, Spock Box is done, the brakes are done, the truck will be done.
The oil change is done, so I'm good for another 12,000 miles on the oil,
Yep.
which is about what we drove this year. So I think we're good to go. So hopefully in a couple weeks, like, we got her back, we get the truck back, we get her loaded, and we can take you guys up to the Olympics, because we definitely want to show you some of our Olympics. Absolutely.
Our plans change so quickly, but we're hoping that we'll be able to take you guys up to a little bit of the Olympics. Hopefully the smoke will be cleared out of there, and we'll be able to show you guys some of our, it's my happy place. That's my most favorite place to be, is the Olympics. That's where I just find comfort and solitude. Yeah.
Harmony.
Yeah. So
On the river.
until we kind of get our truck back, we are going to go meet up with Aja, but we have no idea where that's going to be at this point. And we're hoping to meet up with Eric, Nomadic Fanatic. We want to meet up with Caravan Carolyn. I've been talking on the phone with her, and I was trying to figure out, like, going to Arizona and then going up and meeting Aja, but with the budget the way it's going to be this year, that is probably not going to happen. And for RTR, we may end up being at RTR. We don't know because of all of that, but maybe we'll be able
try
to
our
see
best.
her. Maybe we'll be able to see her then, because I know she's going to Arizona. So anyways, that's it, guys. That's all we've got right now.
And we'll see you on another video. Thank you
Yeah.
so much for watching.
Yeah, we love you
and
guys all.
We appreciate y'all.
Yeah. Oh, one other thing. You want to grab your red jacket?
Oh, yeah.
So while we were sitting here getting ready to film, we got a knock on the door from the UPS guy. And Mr. J,
Look at that.
sent Scotty,
Super soft.
he sent Scotty a red sweatshirt. He said that, Scotty had a surprise coming in the mail, that he felt like Scotty felt a little left out after I got it such a wonderful surprise with my camera. So
Yeah, but I can stay warm.
yeah, it's very lush. Anyways, and one other thing, a few people have made comments that I need to get a gimbal. Just give me time, you guys. I've only recorded with this camera, you know, around the house trying to learn the different settings and stuff, and it's a lot heavier camera than I've ever carried around. So just give us a little bit of time and we'll figure it out and we'll get the shakiness out.
You're doing good though.
Well, it's on a tripod right now.
Oh, no wonder it's so good.
We love you guys.
Peace out, everybody.
See you guys.